All right, we are ready to get into it. Actually, you know what? I am super dark, and I forgot to turn my light on. So just hang tight, I guess. Here, we'll keep this going for 1 second. All right, for real this time. All right. Welcome in, Rams Showcase Live. I am Sheriff Joe Baggs. Rams, of course, falling to a 3-6 record with this loss to the Green Bay Packers yesterday. Did not go well. I can say that much for sure. I think I was fairly alone. Definitely not 100% alone. I never am 100% alone. That'd be weird, but then I'm wrong, I think. But as far as this week goes, I mean, I was negative excited to see Brett Rippon play. And I think that now everybody is on board with me. I was not pumped to see him play at all. I didn't want to see him play. I was leading up the whole week. I kept saying our best chance is definitely if Matthew Stafford plays the game. And I said the line, a 60% Matthew Stafford better than 100% Brett Rippon. And I got so many comments about that, specifically about people being like, you are crazy. No quarterback in the NFL is that big of a difference with like one being 60%, the other being healthy. No one is clearly they are. Okay. Brett Rippon is not very good at football. Okay. But let's also, it's not his fault. Okay. Well, it is his fault, but also it's not our fault for having low expectations because, well, this guy was supposed to be cut, all right? Stetson Bennett was supposed to be the Rams' backup quarterback this year, and he got cut. So, we know the Stetson, we know parts of the Stetson Bennett thing. But either way, Brett Rippon was supposed to be a third-string guy, practice squad player at best, and we had to start him against the Green Bay Packers in Lambeau. So, yeah, it's not super cool. But either way, I kind of say all that to kind of bring it back in the sense of like, why are we so surprised and why are all of a sudden we selling all of our stock, guys? We knew what this was, all right? We knew coming in that this probably wasn't going to be the season we just beat up on everybody. And I know that some of those early games gave us that kind of like false hope a little bit, but I think now we're seeing it. We're seeing this as an extremely young team that was just on its, let's not call him a backup quarterback, third quarterback. I realize that there was no two there, but Rippon was supposed to be third string at best in this offense. We've lost our top two running backs, and we're just one of the youngest teams in the NFL. What do you expect? And why all of a sudden do we see those things? Do we see Brett Rippon doing Brett Rippon things that shouldn't have surprised anybody out there? And now all of a sudden everybody wants McVay fired because Brett Rippon sucks at football? Dude, he's sucked at football this whole time. It has nothing to do with Matthew Stafford. So anyway, I kind of say all that because the internet's been so annoying today, all right? And I wasn't on it a whole lot. I've been working all day and stuff like that, but it's been like pretty jarring to see how many people have just like completely like, oh, we got to just tear it down. It's like, that's not what this was supposed to be for, all right? Does it suck that we lost to the Packers when they didn't even play a good football game? Yeah, it does. They weren't even very good, and they beat us by 17. So that's not a good thing right there. But it just at no point did it feel like the offense was going to be able to move the football at all. At no point did it feel like the defense did play really well, but like at no point did it feel like even with those wild turnovers, all of a sudden the balls are bouncing our way for the first time this whole season, and Brett Rippon is the quarterback. So we're just not getting anything done. So hey, it happens though. Whatever. I mean, Anthony says you need Stetson Bennett, but I think Stetson Bennett needs something else. I think he's the one that needs. All right. I don't know how much better he would have done. He did really well in the Rams' first preseason game, but in the others he didn't. So that's something there. We will get to our sick guest in just a moment here. This comment popped in though. I wanted to mention this one. It was before the stream even started. Paul hopping in and saying yesterday's loss was brutal. Big facts, Paul. Big facts. But he says, now I'm just hoping for a strong finish to the year. And I wanted to point this out because I absolutely love this, all right? That, like, Paul's not coming in here. It's like, oh, I guess we better do a terrible job the rest of the time so we can get a better rookie. First of all, rookies are not guarantees. And if rookies were guarantees, there's no way we could have pulled off Puka Nacua in the 5th round. I'll tell you that much, all right? So to get as high as possible in the draft is not something I'm ever concerned about. Just getting the right guy when you pick is that's my only concern here. I don't think we have too many other comments here. So I'm actually, you know what? We're gonna blow this out a little bit. This is actually gonna be a little fun. We're gonna do something that I haven't done here. Hold on. Let me make sure I got that right. Okay, so first we're gonna start with something because well, one person doesn't have video on, and you can let me know in the comments if the video is not going to happen. But well, we do have a guest here. A regular guest was not with us last week as he was doing something way cooler, which was carving pumpkins. But of course, bringing back Cool Bro. What's going on, dude?
What's up, dude, and what's up, everybody watching? Payo, before I get into like my questions and stuff and talk about yesterday's game, which I have a lot to say about that, I need to tell Payo about something. So, Payo, you said you're watching from a sketchy, possibly haunted hotel room, and I have had some experiences with some haunted hotel rooms, or a haunted hotel. This one is called the Del Coronado. Don't know if you heard about it, but I did like this investigation there. It's in San Diego. It's kind of like the Stanley in Colorado, but it's a little bit different. And like I went by Kate Morgan's room because that's the reason why it's haunted, and just like trying to get some ghost activity and stuff. And I caught it on camera. I haven't uploaded it on YouTube though. I was going to, but it's like an hour long, and it's going to take forever to like download onto YouTube. And pretty much like Kate Morgan, like I think it was Kate Morgan or something. I think we caught Kate Morgan on camera. I was talking to like some people at the hotel, and they showed me a picture that some guest took on the beach of Kate Morgan standing there. And when they originally took the picture of the beach, they didn't see, no one was even on the beach, so it was really weird. And it was and then when I was standing by Kate Morgan's room, I felt something touch the back of my shoulder. And then I've been to another haunted place that's not a haunted hotel. It's called the Whaley House, also in San Diego. That place is really haunted too. So
awesome. I love that. I love that scary stuff though.
And there's like a lot of other scary stuff about the Kate Morgan Hotel. I got like a whole entire book on it, and researched all of it. She actually died in November, like in the late 1800s, I think. And so like, and we're probably going to be going there soon to go on like a haunted tour since she died in November. It's kind of creepy. So maybe and usually that's when all the activity comes around. Probably going to have to get Sam and Kobe, Phaedra to come.
Go make some ghost friends, man. Heck yeah, that's awesome.
Okay, so now I want to get into my Rams questions.
All right.
So first,
I got you.
I need to talk about Brent Rypien. I need to talk about Brent Rypien.
Yeah.
How did he not catch his own snap? How did he fumble his own snap? My bunny can catch a snap better than what he did.
I absolutely agree. Well, he did something that's rather impressive, which is fumbling the football 2 times in one play. That's some Kyle Bowler stuff going on, man. We're digging deep into this, like the carousel of quarterbacks that the Rams used to throw out there, just like guys that you're like, is this actually a quarterback, or like, who is this? You know? Yeah, but fumbling twice in one play, and then the way he played, yeah, not so much fun. Not so much fun.
Like like whose idea? How did Les Snead decide? Like, why would he just decide? Oh yeah, I want to hire Brett Rypien. He's an amazing player, bro. If he's in like next week is bye week, but if he's in the Seahawks game, I hope they fire him by then. They have to fire him by then, or else they probably wouldn't have seen the game.
Yeah, I think that Stafford will be healthy by then. I think the timing of him not going on, like, I think that's like a weird backwards way to put it, but like the timing of him not going on to IR, there's no way we do it now and then like have him sit for that long. So I think that Stafford will be good to go against Seahawks.
I think the worst part of that game was that we didn't get a single touchdown. That was like the worst part of it. If we would have gotten at least a touchdown, that would have made the loss better because. And also another part of why the loss was bad is we lose to a comedy team like the Packers.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I was kind of like talking to Tom Grossi and saying that we were going to win, and then we don't win.
See, I've entered a new realm in my fandom where I do not talk trash to fans. I don't do it. I don't post Game, anything. I don't say anything. Like, I don't talk trash to fans at all. So, like, it is annoying when people do it to me because I don't do it anymore. But, like, whatever. Like, I'm not going to tell somebody how to be a fan. If they're into trash talking and stuff like that, like my buddy Jackson, who was on the show with me this week, big trash talk guy. That's all, like, all game. That's all we heard, stuff like that. But, like, whatever. That's just how he watches. But, like, that is kind of why, like, especially pregame, I will not talk trash to fans leading up to a game because we could look like the Rams did on this Sunday, and you have no legs to stand on. Like, you just have to just accept whatever is said back to you with a smile, because if you talk trash and then your team plays like that, like, you can't say anything about it. You know, it sucks.
Yeah, and also, if they're gonna be like signing someone like Brett Ripon, then they might as well just sign a high schooler like me to come in, because if I was QB in that game, we would have 30 points, at least 30 points, and we would have won.
I agree. I would have rather had you in there than Brett Ripon. 1,000%, dude.
I can really throw a spiral better than what Brett Ripon was throwing.
A lot of people are better than Brett Ripon, all right? A lot of people. A lot. Not a hard
It's kind of
bar.
unbelievable how in a 4-year career, he only has 4 touchdowns, and he's been playing for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, how is that even possible?
It's not a good average, that's for sure.
I came up with this theory. And how I think Brett Ripon came in, because I don't know a single high school that would actually accept him to play as a starter QB. I don't even know a college that would accept him, let alone a NFL team. So I think that he must have paid someone high up to get him in to play. That's the only reason that I think he could be in.
He's got pictures of Stan Kroenke on his phone. What's your next question, man?
So my next question is what did you think of Puka Nacua? I kind of felt bad for Puka Nacua, because it's not Puka Nacua's fault that we lost, or any of the other players' fault. I feel like it's all on. Sorry if you guys hear these notifications popping up. I have
you're
some notifications on. I have these notifications because there's a Lakers game going on right now, so I have notifications for that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. You sound like a little bit like a robot right now. It's kind of cool.
It's probably my headphones.
I'm guessing so. Yeah, it's okay. I can understand you. That's fine.
So it's not Puka Nacua's fault. It's not Cooper Kupp's fault. It's not. I don't blame any of the other players for the loss. They were actually holding up in the game pretty well. This is all on Brett Ripon.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm absolutely with you, because you look at the way that everybody else played, and there was definitely some offensive line moments where you're like, dude, AJ Jackson blowing that block. That was obviously terrible timing, stuff like that. And then even Avila's kind of looked rough here and there, but overall, and then obviously you lose your anchor, Rob Havenstein, who missed his second game. That definitely hurts as well. But yeah, it's if any other quarterback was playing except for Brett Ripon, I think it's a different outcome. And not dress or win. I'm not going to say that we should have played dress or win. I think it would have been interesting to see him get a few reps, but outside of that, I just don't know. But we actually have somebody sitting in queue right now. I want to bring him in with us because I think that he might have some good input on this conversation too, about whose fault it is. Who do we blame here? And I see a lot of people online that are saying it's time to move on from Sean McVay and stuff like that. And let's call it what it is. It was a game with Brett Ripon in November in Lambeau. I don't think it's fair to really put that much evil onto the coaching staff here. But let's go ahead and bring in our other guest here, see what he's got to think or he's got to say. Hey, Tom, what up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up?
Cool, bro. It's an honor to finally meet you outside of a comment section. And Sheriff Joe, thanks for having me on. Again, I'm in a sketchy hotel room right now. I don't know. Do I sound okay to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And honestly, I'm past the loss. I'm past it. That one did sit with me. It sat with me for normally I'm about 2-3 hours I can get past the loss. Yeah. But that one sat with me till I went to sleep. But then I woke up this morning and I was like, Okay, bye week. We need that, and let's see if we can sweep the Seahawks. That's kind of the focus now, and you move on with it.
Yeah.
I will say this: the more I think about it, and we started to see this last season with Perkins and Wolford, but we definitely saw it with Rippon. The Rams have never prioritized that backup quarterback position. And you could say the one time they did prioritize it was with Stetson Bennett in the 4th round of the draft. Obviously, that's like a
Yeah.
different situation. But if you go back to Les Snead's tenure, we had those years with like Keenum and Foles together, which you could kind of see there. But like since Sean McVay came in, we have always been scraping the DVD discount bin at Walmart for a backup quarterback. And it's frustrating to see that, especially when you look around the league and you see other teams having production and playing watchable football with a backup quarterback.
Yep.
And you even think of last year when Baker Mayfield came in, the Rams were so much more watchable at in that position. And so I think I'm not on the fire Snead or fire McVay train. No. I do think it is a very valid criticism, though, to say the Rams have never really prioritized the backup quarterback position. And when you don't do that, you get games like you did yesterday.
Yeah, and it's kind of like my point on the backup spot is always like it's irrelevant until it's not. Like it's a position we don't need to have somebody good at until we do. And it turns out with Matthew Stafford being at his age and stuff like that, we do need that position. It's like that 2017 season. It was like the backup quarterback. Who was the backup quarterback? The Wolf. And no one knew that. No one cared, because it didn't matter because Matthew Stafford played all those games. So it's one of those things that it only matters when it matters. Kind of like having a spare tire on your car. It's wasting space until you get a flat tire, and then you need it. So it's just one of those situations. And I don't know if they had a lot of confidence in Rippon to be the backup for Matthew Stafford, but like you said, we did address it. It was supposed to be Stetson Bennett, and then stuff with him happened, and so we don't have him, which is unfortunate. But I think that when that kind of stuff goes down, you have to adjust for that, because just like Coolbro said, it's like that loss is literally on Brett Rippon. Like that, he did such a terrible job that it is easy to say, yeah, he's the reason we lost this game. With Matthew Stafford, who knows? But it's at least way closer than 17 points, because that's
Totally. Well, especially off those turnovers, you think with Stafford, you'd like to think with Stafford there, you can at least make them pay for those mistakes and have the lead at some point in the game.
Well, it's like I had the thought too of like, because I was trying to think about like I'm thinking about a lot of stuff with this week's podcast and what I want to do, because like first of all, I don't have a game preview and I still need to fill an hour, so I'm trying to figure out what's about. But one of those things is like is talking about gosh, I'm already losing my train of thought. It's gone.
I got a question for both of you.
Go ahead, because I'll think of it. I'll come back.
So, okay, here's honest question. I want to hear from you, Cool Bro, and you, Sheriff Joe. With what we saw yesterday that made every Rams fan want to go and vomit from Brett Rippon at the quarterback position, do you think there's if you're Les Snead and you're the GM, would you stick with Brett Rippon as backup quarterback even if Stafford is healthy? B, sign a veteran quarterback that's available, like Carson Wentz, Nick Foles, Joe Flacco, like those guys that just for whatever reason they're sitting around, and they're available? Or are you like, you know what we saw from Brett Rippon, let's try a different practice squad journeyman quarterback like Nathan Rourke, who had a great preseason on the Jaguars practice squad, or David Blount, I believe he's on the Lions practice squad. So like there are some names out there on other practice squads that I personally would take over Brett Rippon.
I'll let you start, Cobra. You're
Oh,
muted
you're muted there,
or something. We can't hear you.
and you're sideways.
You are definitely sideways as well. There's a lot of things happening right now, Cobra. Are you okay, man? Okay, we cannot hear you. I don't know if you want to dip out and try to come back. I'm not sure, but you are also sideways. That is true. All right. We'll pull him down for a second. Get him sorted out. It's chaos for Cool Bro right now. But
Yeah.
I'm 100% on that. Like, if we see a situation where Stafford cannot go and Brett Rippon has to touch the field again, I think that's a bad move. I think that we've, like, even though it's like Lambeau in December, it's like if you put this guy back out there, you're basically saying to everybody, hey, by the way, we don't care about the rest of this game. Like, so because it was so like legitimate. That was my whole point. There we go. I got it back. Came back right.
Circle back, yes.
With Matthew Stafford, I realize that he makes some mistakes and people get really frustrated with that. But Matthew Stafford plays really good football, and then like 1 out of every 15 throws you're like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
But it was literally the opposite for Rippon. It was 1 every 15 throws was like, oh, finally a good one. Okay. Yeah. And so it's like, I think that people kind of get into that rhythm with Stafford, though, where like he'll throw so many good passes in a row and you're like, okay, awesome. He's great. And then he throws like a pick six like he did against Dallas. And you're like, this guy sucks. And it's like, no, he doesn't. It's just that was his one throw that was bad. On the opposite side, though, we get a guy who only we're lucky to get a good throw. All right.
Yeah.
But with Stafford, every once in a while, he's going to have those throws where you're like, oh my gosh, dude, what were you thinking there? When Watt intercepted him or that pick six against Dallas, those are two that stick out to me. It's like, what are you thinking there? But literally, Rippon is doing that every play. And then every once in a while, he would throw a decent ball. And you're like, okay, cool. Like, so yeah, that's frustrating, man. But I'm also literally not surprised one bit. Brett Rippon is who I thought he was.
Yeah.
I just got confirmation on Rippon, man.
And for the record, like he was he scouted or drafted by the Denver Broncos?
I don't know if he was drafted there. He played there though. Let me take a peek.
Yeah, personally, I just am of the mindset of any quarterback that has been part of the Denver Broncos since Peyton Manning left, you should probably just stay away from them.
Yeah, it's like that, like because after they had Elway, they went through a string of like every guy's the next guy. Every guy's the next John Elway, and then it just kind of like we got Plummer and Greasy and all these guys, you know, and Rippon was in there as well, and then the older Rippon I think was in there, and then after Manning they did the same exact thing. They just cycle through them, man.
Yeah, that's not an organization you should take QB flyers from.
Never, dude. They do like they have the same formula essentially every time. Let's see. Where was he drafted? He was undrafted 2019 to the Denver Broncos.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's not a team that I would say has a high IQ at scouting quarterbacks.
Yeah, and he's undrafted. I mean, I don't know, dude. There was like, I don't want to. Hey, we have the same birthday. That's cool. Hey. That's good. I'm older than he is, but that's fine. That's cool. Right?
You can send him a birthday tweet. You know?
Yeah, totally. But yeah. So I don't know, man. That's like why all week leading up, I was like, God, I really hope Stafford plays. And people like kept telling me like in different like settings like that. It's like, no, I'm kind of interested to see Rippon. It's like, I am not interested to see Rippon. It's like, I don't feel like it's going to go well if we see Rippon. So, yeah. And then I kept on kind of like getting the comments of like people being like, no, we just need to see what he's got and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, it's like, it's not my choice, you know, and I can't make Stafford's thumb feel better faster. So like it really like if we have to see him, hopefully he does well. But it's like my expectations though are in the gutters, like completely. Yeah. And yeah, I wasn't surprised one bit. Which is
or even like I don't know, like I was thinking of like AJ McCarron. He's on the Bengals practice squad right now. Like why have we had Brett Rippon all this time? Like when the Rams signed Brett Rippon, I remember thinking like, oh, he's a camp arm.
Same. I think we had that conversation of like, oh, it doesn't matter. Like he's just here for preseason.
Camp arm, yeah. And then when the stuff with Bennett happened, I remember thinking like, oh, okay, we're gonna keep Brett Rippon as the backup. Like, I don't think that's a good move. But then because Stafford was healthy, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. Hopefully it never has to happen. And well,
yeah, and Stafford not only healthy, but also Stafford. Yeah. Oh, sorry. You cut out weirdly there and came back. But like Stafford not only healthy, but him saying that he's feeling better than he has in years. Stuff like that. So Joe Harris says, "Just make it all better, Joe." Dude, but that's the thing, dude. Is it like we knew going into this year what this year was? All right.
Yeah.
And we cannot judge this team on Brett Rippon and a running back off the streets. Call it what it is. Darrell Henderson is off the couch, dude. Like, that's what he is. We cut him. We didn't want him anymore, and we needed to get somebody, so we brought him back. And then we also just have a super young team, one of the youngest teams in the NFL. This was not supposed to be the year where we did all this awesome stuff. This was a year to, like, see what we got, see what we can build on, and build for the future, man.
See, Joe, I agree with that. But where I'm going to push back a little bit is just because that's kind of what we knew coming into it. It's not that we don't want that way. Every fan base wants their team to exceed expectations and and I totally think, and you and I have talked about this outside of YouTube, that that Seattle win set the expectation were like rational, like down here, and then and it wasn't just that they won in such dominant fashion, right? And so now they're like through the roof, and
then you play well against the Niners, you play well against the Eagles, you're playing well against these really good teams. So yeah, I get it. But
and then you lose to the stinking Packers.
It's like, and it sucks. And like I said, it's like it especially sucks when you lose to a team who didn't even play well. A bad team who didn't play well. We lost by 17. That definitely sucks. But I will push back on your pushback and say we also just got a game that showed us that Byron Young and Kobe Turner are absolute hits.
You're right. No, and you know what? I will pull on that pushback that you were totally right.
Dude, those guys are good. You know
what? Honestly, we probably aren't talking enough about how much the Rams nailed this draft class.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like
if you just only take Puka, Steve, Byron, and Kobe, that's a win of a draft.
Huge win. Yeah.
We don't know what Zach is yet. We don't know what Jason Taylor is yet. Like, we don't know what Davis Allen is yet. Like, he got smoked on that block, but either way. But like, we don't know who those guys are yet. Maybe they're hits as well. So yeah, you're absolutely right. This draft, with those four alone, this is a great class for sure.
And honestly, it's going to take a couple of years, but like possible best Rams draft class ever. Like, I mean, like
who
the
knows,
potential's there.
I mean, what other classes do you put in there is really the question at that point. So like, what classes do you look back on and say that that's in the top 5 or something like that? And I'll be honest, I'm not a big draft guy. I don't really care about the draft, man. Like, I'm not like a position guy. Like, oh, we moved up 2 spots here to get to, like, I don't care. Just whoever, when you're on the clock, if it works out, that's awesome. But it's mostly not going to work out. most picks are not hits. So that's why I don't really care about it. It's like, if you hit 20%, you're doing great. So that's why.
Well, and think of it this way, right? Like, there was 14 draft picks, right?
Yeah.
And if we're if we're hitting on 4 of them, right? Like, some teams hope to hit on 1 player draft.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And that's the thing, is like, the draft is not a perfect science. So I see people saying stuff like, oh, well, because of where we're at now, we just need to lose a bunch of games. And it's like, well, the draft, we know that it's not a perfect science, because if it was, again, I make the comment, you don't get a Puka Nacua in the 5th round if the draft is a perfect science. He doesn't get out of the 1st round if the draft is perfect science. So what gives? And Jamarcus Russell never happens. Ryan Leaf never happens. Sam Bradford never happens. Ty Hill, Adam Carricker, Jason Smith. Alex Barron, those guys that we took don't never have like that just doesn't happen if it's a perfect science. So that's why I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's awesome to get higher up there. You get first picks or whatever. But who's up there right now that we want? I want Marvin Harrison Jr., but we are stacked at wide receivers. You know what I mean? But also, we don't need to worry about that yet because there's still so many football games to come.
Well, and to be honest, that's my thing, right? Like I've seen, and I'm not one of the NFL fans that gets into the tank mindset.
Yeah.
I can appreciate and understand fans because some fans like that's just who they are. They're like, you know what? Every time my team loses, I'm gonna cheer because we're getting a higher draft pick. And I'm like,
yeah,
I'm not there. I'm not there. I've never been there. I don't think I can ever be there. But so when I see Ram fans posting like, okay, we're number 6 right now, and if they keep losing, they can be worse than this team. And I'm like, oh, that's a sad way to live your football
it
fandom.
really is a sad way to live because it's like, especially, I'll say this is like a comment that most people might hate, but like, especially as a Rams fan. So you're telling me for like a 20-year stretch, by like week 6, you just stop watching or caring about wins. It's like we were terrible for a long, long time. And it like, I don't know. I always want to win, but also at the same time, I realize that not everybody is as intense of a Rams fan as myself. And that's okay. Like I used to have this mindset of like, you don't know all this stuff. What are you doing out here? But it's like, okay, yeah, I'm also pretty over the top.
Yeah.
Clearly. Like, you know what I mean? Like not everybody's like this, and that's okay, But to like sell out where you're like, oh, I want us to lose, that just feels so weird to me. I don't think I'll ever understand.
I will say this. I will say this. And this was like it was one thing I saw on Twitter last night where I was like, you know what, this is actually some rational Rams talk going on here. They talked a little bit about Rippon, but they also talked about just like they'd really like to, and you and I have talked about this, is how we haven't recovered from the loss of Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah.
We've seen at that left tackle position and the line as a whole, we've seen some production from players in one-off game situations.
Yeah.
We have not consistently found our left tackle for like, hey, this is our franchise left tackle.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I love Alaric Jackson. I'm glad he's there. Maybe he can become it, but between injury concerns and when he does face, the Bosas or the top tier talent, which most average left tackles struggle when they face those guys, it's something to be considering for sure.
That third down run that we had where he completely missed the block and he's on the ground on the other side of the first down while our running back's getting tackled in the backfield. It's like that's the moment where it's like, all right, man, you can't do that in that spot.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't.
Yeah. And if you're gonna have a pocket passing quarterback like Stafford, I would say he's got to have a clean pocket for at least 80 to 90% of the game for him to like have those games where he's gonna tear apart the defense, right? And Stafford's pocket has not consistently been clean this year.
It is weird too because like it felt like early in the season it was, and then it felt like it's like I talked about it this week on the podcast. Was like how it felt like in the beginning of the season our secondary was unstoppable. They were locking everything down, but we couldn't get the pass rush. The pass rush wasn't getting home, and now the pass rush is getting home. But it seems like if the quarterback gets enough time, they're finding somebody wide open.
Yeah.
And that's been so annoying, man. And like, I don't know, it's weird how different this team is today than like when we left week 1 or even week 2, where like we're sitting at 1-1 after week 2. And it's like, all right, yeah, we've lost and stuff like that, but it's okay. Like we're doing okay. And now it's like, oh no, it's over. Like it's it's like even with so many games left, it's like, oh no, this is not going to go well, I think. But that's like the thing is like, and I talked about like Byron Young and Kobe Turner and stuff like that, and like what they were able to do in this game. And that's kind of what I'm looking for the rest of this year, man. That's not a loss of a year. I don't hope that the Rams lose. I'm not rooting for us to do poorly, anything like that. But I'm kind of worried about different stuff now than wins, I guess is the right way to put it. Like I'm now worried about like, let's see how Puka Nacua progresses over the course of the year. Let's see how this offensive line gels together over the course of the year. Is Kevin Dotson worth bringing back? Who is worth bringing back? Is Jordan Fuller? Are we going to sign him back? Akello Witherspoon, he's over 30, but is he a guy that we need to have as like that veteran guy in that spot? Is somebody like Christian Roseboom, should we bring him back? Byron Young, I want to see him keep progressing. Kobe Turner keep progressing. Darian Kendrick he kind of has been teetering, but then after falling completely off, man. So like, is he going to kind of come back around and start to get it good? So I don't know, man. Those are the things that I'm looking for now. It's less about the score now and more about those things. Do you agree at all?
No, I very much agree with that. Like seeing player development, and the reality is the 2021 season doesn't happen without the 2020 and 2019 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and I know you and many other Rams content creators have said like, "Oh, hey, what's up, cool bro?"
Still sideways.
They've said before that hey, if we're gonna get
cool bro, can we hear you? Say something. I got nothing, man. I'm gonna pull him down.
Man, no.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
But like if we're going to have a Super Bowl, run every couple of years, and then a couple of down years here and there, all right, we'll get in that like cyclical rotation, whatever. Not many fandoms could survive that, but hey, Ram fans, we're a spirited bunch.
Think about our runs from the greatest show on turf to when McVay showed up and we started going to the playoffs and hitting some Super Bowls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 20 plus years. Like,
yeah, I don't want, dude, when I think back to like the Fisher era, the Spags era, the Linehan era, even the end of the Mike Martz era, like there was a lot of games like what we saw yesterday. Just like, just don't want to show. That's so bad. Like I can't watch like unwatchable football. That's the only way I can describe it.
Legitimately, where you went into every game of like, oof, I hope that something magnificent happens because oof.
Yeah.
Because all of our quarterbacks were Brett Rippon. They all look like, you know what I mean?
Well, and like, sorry to change the subject off that. Something that we're maybe not talking enough about is the loss of Ronnie Rivers and Kyrene Williams
at the same time.
Like, and give Freeman and Hendo credit. Yeah. They've come in and played well, but they weren't playing at the same level that Kyrene Williams was playing at. And even Ronnie Rivers was, he was the Russian River.
Yeah, they're not close. I mean, and that's the thing is like, I realize people like Darrell Henderson for how did we find him back, but like, he is what he was. He's not better or worse than he was before he was here. He's still Darrell Henderson. He's not a bad player, but he's like a third running back. Like, that's what he is, man. Like, and that's not to talk trash on Darrell Henderson. I like Darrell Henderson, but he's not that starting guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, when we have a third string quarterback, a third string running back, like,
you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Dude, there you are. Finally.
There we go. Cool, bro.
Nice. I don't know what was going on. Must have been Pale's ghost.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, the ghost was flying around this hotel room. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I have no idea what happened. I took the microphone out, so maybe it might have been that. But I don't know.
Who knows, man? Technology. I don't understand
Love technology.
This is an iPad that I've had since 2018. So maybe it might be because of how old my iPad is.
Probably.
So, Sheriff Joe, do you mind if we get Cool Bro's take on the, like, if you're Les Snead, what you do at the quarterback position? Like, do you keep ripping? Do you sign one of the old vets that are just hanging around at home?
Yeah,
or do you
definitely.
Look for an up-and-coming practice squad guy?
Yeah, cool, bro. What do you think we should do, man? If
I think we should read a Stephen King novel.
No. So
That was the most cryptic thing that's ever happened. What do you think we should do with our quarterback? And he holds up a Pet Cemetery book. All right, man. That's way. There's no answers.
So, what I think we should do, if I was Sean McVay, I would definitely fire Rippin, and I would get a better player, and Les needs to look into the player stats before he makes a decision like that. He just I'm guessing he just randomly just found the most random player he could get and said, "Yep, he's our starter. I don't want to look anymore."
I mean, maybe.
Do you know what I will say? Do you know what annoyed me the most about yesterday's game when it came to Rippin? When he threw the interception and he smiled.
Yeah.
I
was done, dude. I was so done.
That smile. I was like showing the teeth and stuff, and you're just like, dude, like at least if Stafford throws an interception, he's ticked about it, right? Like, come on.
Smile on the sideline after the cameras are off you, but everybody's looking right now. So maybe hold off.
Like you can't even get your reaction to an interception right, Brett Rippin. Come on.
I think Brett Rippin needs to go back to. Wait, my iPad is lagging so hard.
You're sounding fine, man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think Brett Rippin.
Now you're lagging. Right, it caught up. And now your audio's got again. Wait, is that? Yep. You're sideways and audio's gone again. That keeps happening.
Oh, no.
Whenever you go sideways, we can't hear them.
Man, it's this ghost from this whole tower, man. It's messed up.
Yeah, there's a. Oh, are you frozen? All right, we're gonna take him down.
Oh, poor cool, bro.
Every time he goes sideways, we can't hear him anymore. It's over. But yeah, where were we at on that one?
We don't like Brett Rippin's smile.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing too. Is it like who did that before too? There was another guy that did that a couple years ago. I don't remember, but I remember there was one that was that I didn't really care for, I didn't care about, but I remember people getting really mad. We were losing a game, and Todd Gurley was seen on the sideline laughing.
Right.
I'm mad about that one, and it was like they probably, I mean, whatever. It's like we're on defense. Somebody probably said something funny. Like it's whatever. Like who cares?
But it was right after the interception, and he's walking off the field with this awkward smile on.
We need to Pet Cemetery him.
It's probably because of that book. That's probably why it's happening.
Yeah. You're bringing in the voodoo in here, man.
Again.
Oh no.
And he's sideways again. Dude, cool, bro. Cool, bro. Every time, man. Every time. Well, yeah, and I guess that's kind of like to kind of circle back to that. I think that's really where I'm at right now is like as we move on through the rest of the season, the thing I'm paying the least attention to is the score. It's kind of almost not to say like a preseason mindset, but like it is more of that like where I'll probably leave games and be like, I actually don't remember the exact score. Like I'll know if we won or lost, but like you know, it's kind of that. It's like, but this guy did a good job. Like Byron Young had his best career game. Kobe Turner is getting into the backfield, man. He's not letting people go, which is really good to see too, because tackling for a young guy is obviously always a concern. But so we're seeing that, man. I mean, that's kind of what I'm going to keep looking for, dude. And
I'm not there. I'm still of the mindset of holding out for some sort of miracle that the Rams make the playoffs.
Oh, and I actually think that we will. I'm still there, man.
Yeah.
You're going to tell me we cannot base our entire emotions on this season based on how Brett Rippin and a third string running back both played together.
Oh, like, totally. Yeah.
Kyron and Stafford are back. We're better. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Maybe because I held the Pet Cemetery book in front of my iPad and then it made a glitch.
Yeah, you gotta stop doing
that. Probably why. I'm not gonna hold it up in front of my camera again.
Well, you get a Kyron Williams
All
back.
right.
You get a Ronnie
If it
Williams
keeps
back.
glitching, then I can probably get like my mom's phone or something, and maybe it'll like work better if I have my mom's phone doing it because I've had this iPad since 2018.
That's old iPad. You get. Oh, go ahead, man.
So I think the Les needs to make better decisions. Les needs to make better decisions. The NFL needs to send Brent Rippon back to Pee Wee football.
Oh, come
and or he should just get a new job because he is not like bro. I think Brent Rippon is trying to tank on purpose. He's trying to tank. That's what I think. He doesn't care.
I just don't think he's very good, man. That's all. And I don't like. I almost feel like
why would he smile after an interception happens?
To put that out there. Yeah, but if he was here right now, I would just put it out there. I would feel terrible if he was watching us talk like this about him.
But
does he deserve it? A little bit.
If you're going to be in the NFL, that's part of being an NFL player, is getting criticized, right? Like, that's why very few people get that opportunity, right?
Yeah, all eyes, dude. All eyes. You get all eyes for sure.
And we're not attacking his character. Like, from what I've seen of him in our limited interviews and things like that, seems like a good, nice guy. Yeah. Doesn't mean I want him as my quarterback, right? Like,
no, I never want to see him throw a football in a Rams uniform again, but I'm sure he's a great dude.
Like, I like to think I'm a nice guy, but no one wants to see me play quarterback for the Rams.
I would have rather seen you than Brett.
Me too. I would rather see Pale play QB too.
Oh, trust me.
Pale is definitely a better QB than Brent Rippon.
I would just do you know what I would do? I would hand off the ball as much as possible. Like, I would just constantly call audibles to a run play. I would just be like, all right.
No, dude, I'd do the opposite. It's like, all right, all goes. And then I can't even get it to him, you know?
just throw it to Cup and Puka.
I'm underthrowing balls as bad as Jordan Love does out here. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
That guy sucks, dude. Can we say that as well? Not only does Brett Rippon is Brett Rippon not good, Jordan Love is not good. He is terrible.
But here's the thing. Jordan Love is not good, but at least he's entertaining and not good. Rippon is not good and hard to watch.
Jordan Love's got big Austin Davis vibes of like, why are we entertaining? And we'll hit a throw every once in a while. But for the most part, you don't need him. You know?
Yeah. No, that's a fair comparison, actually.
Yeah. He'd be an awesome backup. I actually like Jordan Love as a backup. As a QB2, I think that's a good spot for him, but he is not a starter. At least not yet. But also, he's been in the league for a while and was under Rodgers. So, like, he probably should be by now, but I don't know.
Well, he'll always have that criticism, right? Because he was the guy they were going to replace Rodgers with, and
he was put behind the 8 ball, dude, like, for sure. Especially when you get, like, from Favre to Rodgers to, like, to you.
Yeah.
The hopes are massive.
Oh, are those your Reese cups?
Yeah.
Yes.
This is the Reese's cups that I should have been eating yesterday.
Your Cooper Reese cups. Yes.
Yeah. I should have been eating this yesterday.
Absolutely.
During the game.
All the time. Every day.
Yeah.
your daily Reese's cup.
Okay, you know what? Can we actually talk about Cooper Kupp for a sec here?
Yeah. Always.
So there were definitely times yesterday he was wide open and Rippon didn't even have a chance to get him the ball.
Or see him.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's this weird, like there's this very small part of Rams that think Cooper Kupp isn't good.
Yeah.
I think that's really wrong. Like, he's still one of the top wide receivers in the NFL.
Yeah, and also not to just sit here and harp on Rippon, because I really don't want that to be all this is to every comment like, well, Rippon sucks. Yeah. But but also, like, it was Brett Rippon throwing the ball yesterday. Like, I mean, he didn't really have the opportunity, you know. But I don't know. I think people too are hanging on that, like, well, he's been back 3 games and we've lost 3 straight. So what's going on? You know?
Yeah.
it's not. You can't say that
It's not
Cup's
Cup.
losing. Like that doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah. And when you think of it, like Cup, Puka, and Tutu, and I even, you know what, dare I say, I'll even put Skoranek in there. This is solid wide receiving core.
it's fine. Yeah.
Demarcus
I mean-
Robinson got a catch yesterday.
That was good to see. He also got a kick return.
Yeah.
He did
Yeah.
great on that, but he did touch the ball there. That was kind of cool to see. But
Yeah, that was cool.
yeah, it's I really like that. Obviously, Puka and Cooper at the top. That duo is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tutu, I'm liking a lot this year. So as a three and as a trio, I really like that. Below that, definitely a pretty heavy drop off. The Scoplow is okay.
He has his role. He has his role.
Yeah. Robinson's fine. I like him, but like he's
Mhm.
not like the guy. Like if we lose 3 guys, I'm gonna be nervous. You know, like.
I will say this in regards to like criticisms of this year. I think Ethan Evans has been playing amazing as a punter, and he's a legit like great punter. However, our punt coverage has not been good.
That's true. And Culbro's sideways again.
No, cool, bro, come back.
Our punt coverage has been terrible, actually. And even like Tomlinson made a good play last week against the Cowboys. But outside of that, coverage has been
So
rough.
bad. Well, and even like you heard it yesterday, Ethan Evans, he had like a huge
My house is haunted.
he had like a huge punt that would have pinned them like back at like the 6, but because the coverage didn't get there in time, he like returned it up to like I think the 20 or 24 or something like that.
Yeah, it just hasn't been good. I don't know if we're blaming the players because those are also pretty young guys, or if just Chase Blackburn is just not getting guys in the spot. And I tend to think that that's more the situation is that Chase Blackburn's not doing as good of a job.
That could be it.
We
We're so spoiled
All right.
with Bones
All right,
for
cool, bro.
years.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Is like, and I think that Chase Blackburn's just straight up just not doing a very good job. You get like that blocked punt. Michael Hoyt, though, I mean, that was him. He got smoked on that. He trying to block somebody. That kind of stuff. The coverage has been terrible. With Austin Trammell, really, I don't get it. I don't get why he's our returner. I'm not a hater. I like whatever, but like Trammell,
He must have done something in camp where they're like, "Oh, we like what we have with you as our kick returner."
Yeah, I'm just super confused by it because like he was a practice squad guy and then get elevated, and then he's just the kick and punt returner. It's like, I mean, I don't dislike the guy, but like, come on, there's got to be better options here. I mean, gotta be Tutu. I mean, come on, put somebody back there. Like,
Well, and to be fair, when Demarcus Robinson returned that kick, I remember thinking, you know, I kind of wish he was our full-time returner.
Just the way he was moving it, like it was kind of like it felt smoother than what Trammell does. And Trammell had a decent punt return, but also it was like the fact that he even took a punt return. I was like, all right, turning the page. Trammell actually taking some finally.
Yeah.
Because he just every time it was a fair catch. So it was like, I mean, even on kickoffs when the ball's not even going to the end zone, he's still fair catching those. And it's like, dude, take your shot, man. Like,
Can you hear me?
do it.
Cool, bro, you're back and you're the
I actually
right
have proof
side
of
up.
my house being haunted. On my Cool Bro channel, I filmed a video of a 3-part video series of 2 of them are like how my house is haunted, and then the third one is proof of my house being haunted. If anybody wants to check it out, it's on my Cool Bro one, my OG one. There's some scary stuff in there.
I love that. That's awesome. There's no scary stuff on Ram Showcase. It's all just very straightforward Ram stuff.
I don't know. Some of those Rams quesos get kind of crazy.
Dude, I never remember.
Maybe I just seen too many horror movies. I probably just seen too many horror movies.
I love those like sharing a room with questions. Those are really good.
I'm not gonna lie. So depending on normally I get to the quesos first before Rams House does.
Yeah.
But if he does get there before I do,
I'm like, okay, I have to make questions weirder than he does. Oh, cool, bro.
Wait, let's see. Can we hear you?
Oh, he's back.
He's, I don't think he's back. Is he?
Oh, he's not back.
Yeah, I really like those though because they do have the same energy as the quesos, and I think that we kind of went through a phase of like trying to find another one of those. Of like, and it was like Rams House was doing a lot of them, and we were kind of cycling through of like, it was like, what is this person's favorite drink or whatever, like, and it was kind of just not there, and it's definitely my fault. I'm the one answering these, so it's like it's how creative I'm getting with these. But the
Yeah.
roommate situation of like sharing a room with Cooper Cup and how that would be so annoying because he'd be like up all night studying film and doing push-ups at random hours and stuff like that. It's like that kind of stuff I think is perfect for that segment. So I'm excited about it. And then
I
you
normally
pencil
try
that
to
in with like
ask-
also like what do you think about this player, or is this player going to get this?
Totally.
I love that.
I normally try and ask one like actual kind of somewhat Rams football related, and then one like
Yeah.
Rams adjacent question. So that's normally what you'll get from me if as long as I remember to actually ask. Okay, so
Yeah, I don't know what this week's going to look like. I think that Chris says let's just plan for all three of you to be at the tailgate Seahawks game, dude. I
Love
friggin'
it.
wish, dude. I
I
wish.
wish.
Actually, he says two of them. Yeah, he's 14. The other guy is. So I don't know if
Yeah.
but next year, Chris, lock this in, dude. Lock it in right now, dude. I'm going to the Packers Rams game.
That's
And
sweet.
I want to sit right up there with you, dude. Lock that in, Chris. Lock it in. Like, put me down, dude. Go ahead and put me down. Whatever it costs, I got you, dude. It's good. Me and my buddy are going out for that one. The same friend, Jackson, who we went to Lambeau last year.
Yeah.
So we kind of found out that next year, Packers at Rams, it's just part of the rotation, is going to be the 100th meeting between the two teams at SoFi Stadium. So we're going to go there.
And we got to win that game. Oh,
We have to. Dude, they beat us, what, is it 9 of the last 10 now?
something like that.
We got to pull that together, man. Got to. They're not even good. Like, we can't be losing like that.
We should have won yesterday. And but I'm past it. I'm past yesterday.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, man. It's one of those things where, again, I think that if we had Stafford in that game, it's at very minimum way closer.
Honestly, I think the Bengals lost this year hurt. Packers one probably hurt worse.
I'll say that was straight up our worst game. I know that we lost by more to the Cowboys. This Packers game was our worst game. We played the worst football of the season in that game on offense.
Offense,
defense played well, but on offense, that was easily the worst game we played on.
Oh, I wanted to ask you that. I meant to ask you this in the comments, but then I was like, oh, I'll just come on and ask him.
Nice.
So, okay, you and I and Rams House and many other Ram fans have had this conversation before of like, okay, by Jalen Ramsey like being traded away, Raheem Morris no longer has to have the star position in his defense.
Yeah.
There's a potential that now Raheem running his scheme without Ramsey, it's actually a little more efficient of a scheme than it has been in past years.
Mm-hmm.
We're only 9 games into the season, but what do you think on this Rams defense compared to last year's Rams defense?
Last year's defense was one of those weird ones where we felt like it was supposed to be better, but it just wasn't closing out games and stuff like that. And then we just started getting hit with injuries, and so that kind of piled up on us. But schematically, if we're talking about the Rams defense and like having Ramsey in it, I do like this defense better. I like Ramsey a lot, and I wish we had him back. But schematically, as the defense as a whole and how they're deployed and how their coverages are set up, I do like this a lot. So
I agree, and I think I would like to see us more. I'm always a fan of if you can generate turnovers, which again we did on Sunday, your increases to win the game are just so much exponentially more when you win the turnover margin, right? And the Rams, for the past couple of years, that's not how we've won games, right? We don't get a lot of pick sixes. We don't
explosive offense and hoping that the other team can't push it all the way down the field. That's
exactly. Yeah. And yeah, so I would love to see us continue to, get turnovers and fumbles and interceptions, and I'm hoping that we see more of that.
Yeah, hopefully, because if you put Stafford in those situations, because like that was my complaint for a long time. It's like we're not getting turnovers. And it's like, yeah, we can talk about how awesome the defense is, but even when they were getting picks, it was like a touchback. It's like, it's like, and so this was the first time that like that fumble that Akello picked up on the sideline. That was one of the plays where I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" It's like this is the luckiest.
That doesn't happen to the Rams.
Like that was by far the luckiest we've been all year. And then you get that other fumble, Jordan Fuller getting it out and stuff like that. And it's like, and he's killing it on stripping the balls out, man. You going after it. This year, he's done a really good job of that. It seems like it's something he's focused on, is not only just making sure you're getting him to the ground, but also in that process, ripping for the football. Because obviously, there's a lot of people that go for the ball and they're not making the tackle. They're just going for the ball. So that's good to see. But cool, bro.
I tried doing it on my dad's iPad, but the camera wasn't working on that. So I let my iPad cool down while I was trying with that one. So maybe it should work better now.
Well, cool, bro. It's great to meet you, and thanks for all the encouragement that I know you give to my channel and also to Sheriff Joe's channel, and appreciate you as a Rams fan and supporting Rams content on YouTube.
Heck yes, man. Do you have more questions, Cole, bro? I don't want to spend too much more time here. I do want to get like some.
So, why do you? Oh wait. What is your opinion on our defense currently?
I think our defense playing well. I like them a lot, actually, and a lot of the young guys that we have, i.e., like specifically Byron Young and Kobe Turner, I think are doing an unbelievable job.
Yeah.
So to see them keep on like pushing it and stuff like that, I think is really key. And then to kind of see how Kello has impacted the defense is really interesting. To see the defense yesterday without Ernest Jones play really well, I thought was really intriguing. Not necessarily a detriment onto Ernest Jones, because he's a very good player, but I did like that the team was able to kind of rally around that a little bit. We did see, Troy Reeder, who's still doing Troy Reeder things. I mean, he's hitting a guy 4 yards behind the first down and giving it up still. So it's like he's still Troy Reeder, but like to see overall we lose a guy like Jones and they still kind of rallied around it and got it done, I think was really, really fun to watch, man. Peo, what do you think about the defense?
I agree. I want to add the name Quentin Lake. He's been balling out.
Totally.
We've been seeing Quentin Lake going all over the field, and I feel like I feel like of all the players that are in like their second or third season with the Rams, Quentin Lake is one that's just exponentially like raised his game to another level, where like the rookies absolutely are coming in, like Kobe Turner and Byron Young. They're doing amazing things, but I have loved what I've seen from Quentin Lake, and I'll toss Russ Yeast in there as well.
Dude, yeah, I like Russ and Quentin a lot, and that's why those two are literally why I don't think we really see John Johnson that much. I think that the team kind of jumped the gun on bringing him in, and I don't think we really need him. Like, those guys are playing well, so
really,
unfortunate, because John Johnson's awesome. We like John Johnson, but I think that's exactly why he's not playing, is because Lake and Yeast are both playing really well.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
That was my brother that just walked by.
Hi, brother.
The cool.
Remember when I told you he was
other
a Rams
cool bro?
fan? And he was the one that I was talking about, turning him to a Rams fan.
Is that the uncool bro?
The uncool bro.
He's still mad. He's mad about this.
Dude, that looks amazing, dude.
That's awesome, man. Looks a lot better than mine.
Oh,
Hotel room paper, wallpaper.
Man. I've got my major signed flag. My head's always covering this championship flag too. Super Bowl.
Hey guys, it's been awesome. I do gotta head out. I gotta get some food before bedtime. Yeah, I love that ring.
Yeah.
But thanks for having me on, Sheriff Joe.
Good.
Cool, bro. Great to meet you. I'm sorry you're
Thanks for having me.
sideways again.
Yeah. Can I hear you, cool, bro? Nope.
When he's,
All right.
when he's sideways, you can't
So
hear him.
yeah, sideways again, cool, bro. All right. Yeah, we'll wrap up here soon anyway. Payo, man, thank you so much for hanging out, man. Definitely, if you don't know Payo's channel, get your life together first of all, because that's where you need to be at. Especially game days, man. Game day, Payo, you hold it down, dude. We all appreciate
Thanks.
that, man.
I was bummed when I missed. I couldn't do yesterday's. Just because.
I figured when I saw that you had a text message come through, I was like, oh, he's not doing the thing, because usually you're locked up for that. So.
Yeah, I've had some flight delays and things like that prevent. Okay, I'll tell you what it was. I was gonna stream it from a hotel room. Not as sketchy as this one. Actually, a nice one. But the hotel wouldn't let me into the room until 3 p.m. Eastern time. So like the game started, and I was like, I asked them, I'm like, can I stream from the lobby? And they're like, no. And so unless I went and like streamed from like a Starbucks or something, it wasn't gonna happen. So I just made the decision. I was tired from traveling anyway. I'm like, you know what? And to be honest, out of all the games this year to not do a watch party for, that was probably
good timing. Yeah. Good timing on that. Dude, so we have the bye week this week, so I don't know what your Sunday will look like. I'm sure it'll just be relaxed and kind of. This is like I take the bye week as a bye week, dude. Like I just try to chill it out, man. But I will say, NFL on Fox, their whole game day morning setup is going to be in Colorado Springs, dude. So I think I'm going to try to.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely go to that. That's so sick.
You'll see a Rams fan in the back, like yeah. That's the goal there. But all right, dude, I'm gonna let you get out of here, man. I'm gonna wrap up here and watch this game. We got the Chargers beating up on the Jets right now. It's 14-0 already. So I'm gonna get to that and
horns
get some
up
to me, man. But dude, thanks for hanging out, man. Appreciate you.
Horns up, peace out, and go. Let's go Rams.
Later, man. That guy's awesome. We have good guests. Payo time, cool, bro. Those are good peeps. Good peeps. But yeah, we will be wrapping up here soon. We got some comments coming in. Oh man, I'll pull it up. That's fine. We're close to the end here. Johnny G says Rip sits down to pee. It's funny either way. Oh, fumble. But yeah, so either way, I mean, I think that the best way that I can put it in my own brain to anybody would be the fact that, like, yeah, I do want the Rams to win these games still. I'm not in tank mode. I'm never in tank mode. My brain does not go to tank mode. Whenever I'm watching the Rams, I want it to go well. So I don't ever like want the Rams to do poorly. And I didn't want Brett Rippon to do poorly. And if he has to play again, I don't want him to do poorly again. I'd rather say that I was wrong about a player like Tutu or something like that. Which, I mean, he started real strong. Where the heck's he been? All right. But then, like, and also just admit that I was wrong, because I'm okay with that. That's fine. Most of us are wrong about most things. So it doesn't bother me to say that, like, I was wrong about a player or something like that. And I think my major one is, like, I heard a report. I based an entire opinion about a player on a report in training camp, and that was about Patrick Mahomes. And they basically were like, he's turned the ball over a lot. And I was like, he must suck. And then I started like telling people, it's like, oh no, he sucks. And then now look at him. And I'm willing to admit that. That's fine. I was wrong, but I also based that off of one report, which is not something that you can do. Okay. But either way, I think that my brain will definitely want the Rams to win the rest of these games. I never want to lose games. I don't get it. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. If you want the Rams to lose, that's fine. But I will say you pulling for the Rams to lose and me pulling for the Rams to win is not going to impact the game in any capacity. So it doesn't matter ultimately. So just watch how you want to watch. But I'm always rooting for a win. But I think what I'm looking for now more specifically is, like, we can have a game like we did against the Packers where we lost to a bad team who didn't play well, and that really sucks. But Kobe Turner and Byron Young, those are dudes. And we nailed those picks. And I think that you look at just that game and you can tell that we nailed those picks. So that's good news there. So there's Cool Bro's life is chaos tonight, and he's having some technology issues, but either way. So this episode of Ram Showcase, I'm going to kind of try to do a little bit of, I don't want to spoil that yet, actually. I'm working on something right now for that, for this podcast, but we also want to go heavy for fan quesos. All right. So if you are a listener every week or whatever, I'm going to try to extend that segment out a little bit. And so maybe I'll post that even a little bit early to get as many as I can in there. Cause I would like it to be a mostly fan queso segment or episode that is. But also, like I said, I do have something that I'm working on for it. Kind of try to dig into the season just a little bit. So I'll kind of write that up and see how I'm feeling about it, because that might just be a conversation that we have next time here on Ram Showcase Live, which is every Monday at a unspecified time. But I feel like this timing will be about right, simply because your boy's got 2 jobs now and this podcast. So I work all day Monday now, but I got home from work, had a couple of minutes to kind of hang out and stuff like that, and then I started the stream. So that's kind of good timing for me. This will work out for me. If it will work out for you, then that's even better. But of course, Ram Showcase will stick on regular schedule, even though with a bye week. I kind of have to. And usually, I used to take the bye weeks off, but now I have things that I do that I can't. So either way, it's going to be an episode. It's going to be an hour because that's what we signed up for. So it's going to be fun, though, either way. But we got more football games to go. So, chill. How about? And again, I'll kind of circle back and kind of finish on the sentiment that I started the conversation with way back over an hour ago here was that I think that when we look at a game at Lambeau Field in November with Brett Rippon at quarterback and a guy we just signed off the couch at running back, that does not mean it's time to fire our head coach. That's not what that means. The A does not equal B in this situation. I mean, those are 2 different. It's unrelated. It's the whole sentence of it's like how can an ant carry 10 times its body weight, but root beer floats are still delicious? It's irrelevant, dude. It's completely different things. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is that game's not going to make me toss out anybody or decide that somebody sucks because. Well, unless that person is the quarterback who played. And I don't want to talk trash. I don't want to sit here and just rip on our own players. But Brett Rippon is not good at football. And we don't need to see him again. He never needs to be out there again. That was awful. So that's where I'm at. I don't want to talk trash to Brett Rippon. Not to him, just about him. To you. On that note, I'm going to peace on out of here. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. We'll be back to it again, of course, 1 week from today. And then, of course, look for Ram Showcase this week, next week as well. We don't take a week off just because it's a bye week. I can't. I literally can't.